Hello guys, welcome to this video. My name is Will and it is here. Finally the sequel to the puzzle game workshop. Sorry for this, inexcusable delay. But we're here and we're gonna get started. We're gonna continue with this puzzle game. It's all written in C#, 100% C#, UWP with XAML. It's going to be so simple that I'm not even using the Win2D graphics library. That's correct. We're really going with the whole simplistic approach. The UI is extremely minimalist, and yeah, let's just jump straight into this workshop. So a few things have happened off the camera, or better said, on the camera, but I didn't upload the workshop that I actually recorded before this because there were technical issues and I just felt the need to just re-record it again. So a few things have changed from the previous upload, and so what I'm going to do first, kind of get us all up to speed to where we are. So I'm going to actually run this with debugging, and as it is now, what I'll do, I'll actually set a breakpoint on line 96. Hopefully it's not too hard to read. I'll just see if I can zoom in. I'll just bring over the UWP window. And so where we are on our agenda as well, we're more or less on this line 95, this evaluation for the answer provided by the user, by the player, better said. So I need to see where that pertains to on the agenda. So over here on number 2, the second mouse, the player should be able to enter attempted answer and the visual updates on the screen. Now I don't know why I crossed that out. I don't think I have actually addressed this. We're going to find out momentarily. Minus blank equals 9. So we go 12, 11, 10, 9. And I totally didn't have to do that without using my fingers. Drop a comment if you think I'm lying. So 13 minus 4 was 9. Press enter. Now, as you can see, we have broken, the code has broken. I hit my breakpoint. So we evaluated if in parse. So we're converting this text box, the answer text box, so where I wrote the answer, which is the blank coefficient. To be honest, I could even rename that to answer text box because that implies it's the actual equation answer. But in any case, it's the text box where I wrote the blank coefficient. Converting that to an int, I'm doing a check to see that it's greater than or less than 0 to just check that it is a number value, not just a random alphanumeric string. And this is a layer of validation that doesn't really rely on, say, hitting try catches. So it's not necessarily needed if you want to really trim your code, but then again, it does save us an extra try catch in a sense. Okay, so we've hit here. So now what's going on? So we're invoking this function called answer check, which is in this calculator, which I believe is a class that I made earlier. And what we're passing into the overloads of answer check, we're going to check out this function in a minute, but we're passing the first coefficient, and if I highlight with IntelliSense, it's 13. The second coefficient, which is the answer I wrote in, which was 4. The actual answer, which is 9, and the operation. So we have all the components of this equation such that now we can logically evaluate it in this answer check. So I'm going to step through. So if the operation written, so this is a Boolean, and I do want to say, if none of this is kind of making sense, I would advise that you watch the first entry before you watch this video. Watch the first part because I actually started from scratch. So all of this functionality, answer check and such, you're going to see how I came to write it. So if this is a little confusing, definitely go back, watch the first entry in the workshop, the live stream one, and then come and watch this upload, okay? So if operator written is true, so this represents plus or minus, it's actually false, so it's a minus operation. So it goes to the else, try, if the answer, which is 9, is equatable to the actual arithmetic itself, so 13 minus 9, then it is the correct answer. So what do we have to do at this point? We need to progress the round or conclude the session if the answer is correct. We want to increment the round count and we want to refresh to a new equation, and then we want to also update the visual. So what I'm going to do, players should be able to attempt the answer and the visual updates on screen. I'm going to cross that out as if we haven't done it because the visual doesn't update on screen. And then soon we'll be able to hit that off. Store the value as operation. Some of these are outdated, so I'm going to check that milestone. And so the only ones we have to do is I want to include 10 rounds. I want a countdown clock. We have to update the visual. And this is just some of the evaluation logic, which I've already kind of sorted out. Okay, so in order to progress the round, what we want to do, it kind of ties in with this increment in the round count. And all we're going to do is just refresh our values. So to generate the equation, we have here, if we look back up here in this initialization logic, it says generate the equation. What we're doing, we are assigning the value of the coefficients and the operator. I already made the functions that generate the coefficients. I call it twice and I generate the operator. And I'm just thinking about the visual itself. So I need to see where I'm actually updating the visual. So let's have a quick scan. Yeah, so I'm also assigning the answer here, and I'm assigning the text, the equation visual. So that's the text block stuff. And then in the equation is false. So this is a really handy piece of functionality, to be honest with you, and I don't really want to repeat it. It's all in the update logic. So you know what I'm going to do, guys? I'm going to encapsulate this inside a function, a local function. Let's say init equation. And then this way, I can use this. I can, call this functionality without having to repeat the lines of code themselves. So if I have in the equation and I place my logic in there, all I have to do is call in the equation where it's needed, as such. Oh, what am I doing? That's wrong. There we go. That's just the function call. Got a warning there. Local functions declared but never used. That's fixed itself. So in the update call, what I'm doing, firstly calling in the equation. So I'm initializing the equation. If the calculator.init equation, which is a boolean flag, is false, then I initialize the equation. So I suppose what I want to do, firstly, after every round, I want to pass this I want to modify the value of the init equation to true, such that on the next update call, what are we doing? We're actually initializing a new equation, as it would suggest. So I could do something like this. So this just means on the next update loop, I will actually initialize a new equation with different random values. Increment the round count is simple enough. I'm not going to use a separate class for this because of the sheer simplicity of the situation. It's going to be as simple as having a value that increments. So I'm going to say something like this current round plus plus. I haven't made this variable yet, so it's going to come up with an error probably. As soon as my Visual Studio catches up, it's kind of lagging behind there. And I have a score value that I'm not using. That's cool. Use that. Guys, I'll probably place this project on GitHub. In case you're interested in having this code, I'll place it on my GitHub, okay? So do feel free to follow through the tutorial, and if you do want, for reference or to use however, I'll place the source code on my GitHub. The link will be in the description once it's ready. So current round is initially, I was going to say initially 0, but I guess the first round would be 1. So we'll keep that as 1. I'll make a little comment there. So this variable keeps track of the current round. Okay. Excellent. Score is 0 as well. I don't know about score. I mean, we could penalize the player for writing the wrong answer, but for now, let's just stick with round. Let's keep things very simple. So we refresh the equation. we increment the round, progress the round. I'm going to take this comment out of here because it's what we're doing up here effectively. Place it there. I'm refreshing a new equation to a new equation, and then I'm updating the visual, which is actually done here on the initialize equation thing. Sorry about that, guys. Initialize equation logic. Oh boy. Let's make a little code comment there. The UI is updated on equation initialization logic core. So all we really have to just do here is call the just change the Boolean flag controlling the initialization and just update the round. It'd be nice to have a visual of what the round is. So what I could do on my XAML, hopefully this doesn't take too long. I know with XAML, my design view can take a little minute to load up. But I can have like a text block, and on the text block, it just simply is a visual for the rounds. Just so as a player, we have the correct cues so that we know where we are. It's very simple things, but again, doesn't go amiss. I'll just change the background to black so it's a little harder to, a little easier rather, to see the viewport. Am I using a stack panel? No, I'm not using a stack panel. Okay, that's fine. It would have been cool to use a stack panel, but it doesn't matter. I'll say something like, so in my XAML, I'll say text block, x colon, give this a name. I'll say round TB for text block. Just close the tag like this. Now go back and I'll say, I'll modify the text property, but I'll just make it blank for now, equals blank. Actually, I'll just make it as 1 because the default round is 1. Oh yes, of course, I need to make give the text block some height and width. So height would be something like 80. That's fair enough. Width can be 120 maybe. I'll make it a little bit wider than that. Like this. And see if I can drag this up. Like this. I'm going to go to the text tab for the properties. I'm going to change the font. I like this band script font. I use it quite a lot. Let's try band script condensed. Make it bold. I think it's already bold, I don't know. I don't know what I'm clicking right now. Let's go to 45 for the font size. See if I can center that. There should be a paragraph button somewhere. If I can find, there's a paragraph tab. I'm going to center the text. That. Round 1, simple stuff. And that's the round TB. I'm going to just copy that name so that I can just reference it. Yeah, I guess I will update the UI as well over here. Update the round UI. The text block text property is assigned. I mean, we could always make an assignment at every update call, but we could just update it here. It does effectively the same thing, I guess. Yeah, I guess that's fine. But we're not always calling that logic all the time. Current round. Like this, and I'll probably have to cast that to a string. Like this. So every time we progress in the round, I then update the text block. As such. Awesome. So the UI is not great looking, I will say, but for now it will do the job. So 3 minus blank equals -6. Right, so 3 minus 3 is nil, then another 3, 6 is -3, then another 3, so it should be -9, right? 0, 3, 6. So let's say 3 minus 9. Ooh, gosh, something's not correct. So we have our first error. The round is incrementing, so we're hitting this all the time. Init equation is true. Let's just step through this and see what's going on here. True for incorrect, evaluate for false. Simple as that. 12 minus blank is 9. 11, 10, 9. So the correct answer should be 3. And as you can see, it's stepped into the true block. So we're returning true. 10 minus blank is -2. So 10 tens is 10 plus 2. So it should be -12, I think. But let's do an incorrect answer. Let's say like 1890. And as you can see, we've gone to the false block, so that means we've got incorrect answer. So the round should increment, the equation should remain the same. It's gonna get rid of that. 10 minus blank is -2, so it's still round 4, same equation. Let's make that, let's change that. Let's get rid of the breaks. So it should be 12, and I see we've incremented the round. 8 minus blank is -7. 19, as we can see. So the logic seems to be coherent here. Everything seems to be working. So let's move on. Now that we've done that, what we want to do is just limit the rounds to 10. I'm not going to put a countdown clock right now because of time, somewhat in the interest of time. So what I'm going to do for this build of the number game, I'm going to just do the round limitation, and that's it. To make this a nice quick video in as much as I can. So what we want to do, obviously if you want to get more into depth of this, you can do many things, add fancy UI and such, but for the sake of the demonstration purposes of this video, things are going to be really simple. So we're nearly there, guys, in the equation. So all I want to do, I'm just trying to find the best place to limit the rounds. Maybe it would be somewhere around here before we even click enter. I think it might be good to kind of put the validation here. In fact, I might as well wrap the validation around the whole evaluation of pressing enter. Can write check to see if the player has reached end of the round. It's called round check? I can't remember what I had. Current round, wasn't it? My telesensor just frozen. If current round is greater than or equals to 10, if for whatever reason we go beyond that, or actually should be less than or equal to 10, or less than 10 to be honest. Let's do less than or equal to 10. Could be 1 up to... I'm going to actually do that as less than 11. In my mind, it makes more sense. So once we reach 11, so we've reached that 10th round, then this will evaluate for false. And then we can have like a message or something. Something fairly simple just to indicate the end of the round. Doesn't have to add time a lot of times. That's an issue. Let's just quickly end the program. Let's make sure we are refreshing our value so we're not always evaluating the answer. answer text box, text string. Let's see. So refreshing the answer text box. Just to 10 minus 10 is nil, then minus 9, so the answer should be 19. Let's do an incorrect answer. Okay, that's good. 19 minus 0 is 19. And we've reached the end of the level. Obviously, with a very simple number game with a very simple user interface. Guys, thank you for tuning in. If you watch this these entries into the simple number game series, thanks for sticking by. I just want to quickly plug in the fact that there is a masterclass in the works, a C# masterclass. Feel free to register your interest. Link will be in the description. There'll be some more there. There's some other things going on. I am planning a one-to-one mentorship program as well. So do feel free to register your interest. Or the link will be in the description if you want to check out any of that. Guys, thanks ever so much for tuning in. And I do bid you all a great day. And stay tuned to the channel for more on C# related walkthrough content. Thanks very much, guys, and I bid you all an amazing day.